Good morning. Good morning. Welcome. This morning we are going to be talking about the new moon and the new moon marking its start of the lunar cycle. Um, I will give it a few minutes to let everyone know that we are here and getting started. It's about 9:12 a.m. this morning and a little early. Want to start right on time at 9:15. So I hope everyone is well. Um, if you go to the beginning of the chat, our wells, if you're coming into the um, the new moon phase one lunar that we were talking about, please make sure that you hit the likes. I see two people in. Make sure that you hit the likes. Good morning to everyone. And I'll give it a few minutes. We want to start right on time at 9:15 and be here ready for everybody so that they can get the information and also join Patreon. So um, I hope everyone is well. I'm going to see if I could put the website here. There it is. I think it allowed me to put it there. So, welcome everybody. We've got four people so far. Be starting right in 1 minute. Want to get here. Make sure if you're in the chat, make sure you hit the likes there. And welcome, welcome this morning. So I'm just going to start that we're on our third week. The first week we brought in the talked about the divine infinite. You can go back to the channel and check that out. We talked about the divine infinite, which is the moon, the lunar moon. And so that was week one. Week two was about the 9 phases. Welcome everybody into the room. Go on and hit the likes. Um, we were last week talked about the 9 phases, which is all about the moon's cycles. And this week we're talking about the new moon marking the first phase of the lunar cycle. Now, if you just give you some updates here, you may join the Patreon. This will be on replay. If you would like to join the Patreon account, please do so, where you can join the Patreon and you'll get more in-depth information about the phases. I put PDFs there. You can join. You can also we'll take a few questions in this chat time. We do offer there's availability for super chat during this conversation if you like to give a donation. Also, there's a tip jar that's part of the YouTube channel that you can tip, and you can also cash app to give donations, offerings into the channel. Always know that offerings never leave your life. They go into your future and they multiply. It is an offering for those that are myself that is bringing good content to help serve you and to give information that will change your life and the life of those that are around you. Okay, because that's what it's all about. So I'm going to go on and get started. It's 9:16. Now, we are talking about the um, the new moon. Okay, and the new moon marks the start of the lunar cycle. Okay, I'm always going to reference my notes, and if you watch the last chat, you will see what I was talking about, why I stick with my notes and different things. Now, the lunar cycle, the new moon is the lunar cycle, and each new moon it has a chance to set intentions for the month ahead and to spend some time in quiet reflection. The new moon brings us to about spending time in the reflection, setting intentions, but more so quiet time. Each cycle, a secular part of the phases is teaching us something. Okay, along with each season of the year, we have 4 seasons. Along with we have phases of the moon. Okay. Now, the new moon is it gather one of the things about the new moon is one, you want to gather with a spiritual circle. So the new moon gives us some strategies. You want to gather with a spiritual circle. Maybe you're a part of the North Node community that's on Patreon. If you're part of another community that you're affiliated with, or maybe you join our master classes, we do a lot of spiritual privately, okay? And a spiritual circle is to share some outcomes or your desires that you desire in your life, or even maybe you already understand what you're here for, or you still learning your purpose. Our purposes change all the time as we sit with ourselves and listen from within to see the directions that we need to go. Okay, so a spiritual gathering during the new moon is to gather energy with others that's on the same accord, pretty much on their spiritual journey. It helps boost you as well, give you encouragement with the new moon, being with other spiritual minded people in the spiritual circle. So that way you're feeling, you get a surge. When you joining other people along your spiritual journey, you don't feel isolated. But the new moon always brings us into a spiritual circle to share some outcomes, your desires, to give you a boost in your energy. Even though it's a quiet reflection time, but when people come together in unity, it helps unification, it helps to bring you into the next level in your spiritual life and even in your mundane earthly life. There's 10 people here, there was 12 people here. You need to hit the likes, okay? That will allow other people to know. We have 8 likes that are up. You need to hit the likes when you come into the chat, or even if you're just dipping in, still hit the likes, okay? Number two, part of new moon is meditation and journaling, okay? It's a quiet reflection time, so you want to take time to meditate, whatever meditation means to you, or it also, you need to be including journaling. Okay. Meditation is all about taking time with yourself. We already covered number one is about you need to join a spiritual circle to boost your energy, to share some of your outcomes. Number two is your own addition to meditation and journaling with a group. But meditation was starting your day with reflection, with what has occurred within the cycle, what has occurred with you, maybe mind dumping during meditation, so that way you can sort through what it is, the direction that you need to be heading. Okay. Meditation times are very important, so that way you're gathering yourself and preparing yourself with the new moon. Journaling allows you to put things on paper and strategize and to put your intentions in play. Number three about the new moon is new moon, we look at the sign the moon is in, and it will be the same as the sign the sun. This will flavor the rest of the month. So it gives it some flavor. You know how we like a good tasty meal and it's seasoned well. Nobody wants to go through a month cycle of 27 and a half to 30, 29 and a half the 30 days with no flavor. As we learned in the first week of Divine Infinite, that the moon goes through a 29 and a half to 30 day cycle. Okay, join Patreon, you'll see them in writing in the PDFs. So what happens is the new moon, we look at the sign the moon is in, and it's usually in the same sign of the sun zodiac sign when it starts in a new moon, and it gives us flavor for the rest of the month. So that's very important. Make sure that if you're present, make comments in the chat, please, that you're here. Okay. So you want to have good flavor for the month. All right. Who doesn't want a tasty season? Season food. How about a tasty month? Being flavored with those locking in, the sun and the moon are in conjunction with each other. They're on the same page of the zodiac. And then you're working with that energy and being aware. Okay. Sorry about that. Um, ringing in the back. So anyway, moving right along. I'll wait for that to stop. get up in the middle. Sorry about that. Hold on. Okay. Sorry about that. Sorry. Sorry for that interruption. I didn't know if y'all could hear the phone ringing in the back. Okay, so sorry about that. So, all right. So going into that flavor and hit the likes. Um, the flavor is the sun zodiac and the new moon is in the same zodiac, so it's given the flavor. Okay, so that's number three. Number four is new moon. Okay, the new moon is like planting seeds in the earth at winter and is bringing in new beginnings to plant your intentions and expect growth from it within 6 months. Now, I'm going to go into detail about setting the intentions with that. One of the issues with setting intentions with the new moon, when I say an issue, is that it has to be what we said flavored first, new moon. These are strategies. New moon is in the same zodiac as the sun. Number two, your flavor is meditation, journaling. Number one is gathering with a spiritual circle to strengthen you. These are attributes, they're not mandates, but they work. Okay. When we're talking about planting seeds into the new moon, there is a possibility that if your seeds that you're setting intentions with the new moon can be swiped up very quickly by lower energies because of the fact that you haven't put any seasoning into the ground with it. Now, what I'm saying is that sometimes people set intentions and it's not concrete. So what happens is the other energies in the earth, which can be lower energies, the opposite of your angel energies, come and swipe those things up very quickly. Why? Because you haven't set it with the right recipe. Okay, you haven't set it with the right energy that they don't even respect what you're doing because you don't even respect what you're doing. So what happens is the opposing energy will swipe that seed up just like that very quickly because you haven't set it with the emotions. You don't believe what you're doing. And not only that, you're already second guessing what you're doing. Now, when we're talking about setting intentions with the new moon, and I'm going to be quite clear with this get rich, get it, manifest, um, all this braggy energy, these things that will not last with this seasons that we're in. The one of the main issues with setting the intentions is that it has to be set with some other fruits that go along with it. It has to be set with joy, happiness, love, and fulfillment. If you're setting intentions with resentment and bitter with the back of things, and you haven't any soul searching of forgiveness and moving out of bitterness and resentment, your intentions will get swiped up with these seasons that are coming in. Um, while you're listening to what I'm saying, I don't care what other people are saying out here with all this manifest sage with the SHIT, all of this petty, immature, breastfed manifestation that will not work in the age of Aquarius. It will not work with the golden age. It is immaturity. Okay. When you're setting intentions, it has to be firm going into the ground with the energy that we are moving into 2022. Okay. If you have one foot in one yard and another foot in another yard, don't even bother setting intentions or manifesting or thinking it's going to happen in a hot minute because it will not, and you will be turned away from it. Your angels and spirit guides will not honor it, and the lower energies will sideswipe everything that you try to set with this in energy. That is prophetic. I do not care. You can listen to a bunch of people if you want. I'm going to tell you the truth. Okay? It doesn't happen like that. And it won't happen moving into 2022. You better make sure that you're getting out of these energies of this braggy energy that's out here, that everything is this, that. That's a bold faced lie. And if you're walking around boasting and bragging about everything, you're lying anyway, because you ain't even got to do that. If you about it and that really is your life, you're going to keep that to yourself and roll like an adult and not act like an immature baby off of some breast milk. Now, that's the truth. So if you want the truth over here and then go to Patreon and be part of our spiritual circles, you will get the truth and these things will happen in your life. But they have to be seasoned with the right flavor of things, or they will not manifest. You will keep staying on the loop and you will stay on the loop because you're acting like children. And then things will be separated coming into the age of Aquarius and with the golden age and the golden age that we're moving in. That is the truth. Okay. All right. So you have that, those things have to be balanced. Okay. If you in hater land, you hating people, you got hate in your heart, different things, and then you expect Mother Moon, if the moon that sets our feelings and our intentions, the lover of us, that's truly our clock, to really move with that, and you are moving with unforgiveness and bitterment and resentment in your heart, in your spirit, this is the truth that I'm telling you. It will not happen. It will not happen. So you might as well clock out of this video already. Any malice, different things, if you're not checking from within, when you're doing intentions, forget about it. It's not going to happen. So that's the truth. Moving right along. Number 5, the new moon is about rest and reflection. It's not visible in the sky because it's there to have you to rest. You have to know when to rest and to take time to relax. We have been in the sun energy a long time, working with the divine masculine, but with the divine feminine, she wants us to take time to rest, to set back, and to hear. You have to rest to hear things, the direction you need to go. If you never take any time, this is all about the dark moon and the new moon sky. If you never take time within yourself, you can't hear anyway. And lots of times people are avoiding hearing because they don't want to deal with themselves. And coming into this next 10-year tier, if you're not willing to deal with yourself and deal with the things from within, you will get swept away like the tides move with the moon. The moon brings in the tide, and the tide retreats with the moon cycles. So, your things, when you're setting intentions, if you're not working with these areas, your things will get swept out, and then you'll be like, oh, it never works. No, it's not going to work. It's not going to work because you're not consistent, you're not doing work, you're not checking within your heart, and it's not all about dancing around with some sage and blah, blah, blah. Those things are part of the practice, but it's always a heart check, always. And these are things that's not being shared and taught. I don't know if they not or not. I really don't care. I'm just going to bring what I've been told to bring when I know that it works. Okay. So with the new moon rest and reflection, it might coincide your minstrels or your menses, those that are women that are here, not just by, let me clarify, because we have beautiful women here that is all genders, okay, but there are some women on their physical aspect, they have a menstruals, okay, so with your minstrels, your minstrels may line up. Many women's minstrels start to flow with the dark and new moon if they're paying attention. If they start getting all over the place, their minstrels, not saying it's not, it's because they may not be aligning themselves with the moon and paying attention. Okay, so you want to pay attention. If you start seeing your menstrual cycle start lining up with the full moon, new moon energy, but most will start cycles. Okay. And if it doesn't, you can ask the divine infinite to ask her, can you have my minstrels line up with you? Because I want to be in alignment with you. And guess what she gonna do? She gonna make it happen because she will hear what you're saying, and it's from the right heart. It's not from a heart of hardiness. It's not from a heart, well, look at me, look at me. No, it's from a heart of sincerity. Okay, so the beautiful thing about the moon cycle, she teaches us the value and going on retreats, turning inward to tend to our inner selves. Retreating is turning within. You don't have to go a bazillion miles away and go on trips to La La Land and get a retreat. Some of you need to learn how to retreat right in your space. You can design your space to be a retreat, and the moon will do for you. I'm not here fussing. I'm just saying what's being brought through, you know. So you can build a retreat, a inward space where you live with a box and a plate. It doesn't matter. That your own environment could be a retreat. You don't have to go to a faraway land and take a whole track system to get somewhere to get in a retreat. You have to believe in yourself. This is for somebody that where you live should be a place of retreat, vacation, and peace. Your home, wherever you live, even if you're in a transitional place of living or wherever, you can find a place of inner self and retreat to turn from within. And you could design that by the way that you want to live where you are, and don't have to have a jealous heart because you're not able to go somewhere like such and such, because there are some people just running from something because their environments is jacked up. They got to run to La La Land because their home environment is not a place of peace and rest. And you can design that to where you want to be in your home environment. Okay, so you don't have to do that. You can design the way you live. Where the moon is here, she's telling us that she's teaching us the value of going on a retreat and turning inward and tending to ourselves right where we are, where you should find a retreat and peace. And when you hear this video from time forward from now to where you are now or on replay, you must apply that method. Okay. So, a few things you want to have is, along with what I'm sharing, is that you want to have a place of that spiritual circle. So you can join our Patreon today, and there's a list of a PDF play sheet that will invoke the work of the new moon. Those that are on Patreon should show up this mid morning Eastern Standard Time. And if you outside of the US, you will see it within about an hour. Okay. So that will be there. You have to do work. Okay. It's not, you don't have to do a bazillion things to get things moving for you. You have to be steadfast, consistent, and content. And also praise the infinite for where you are today. And stop depending on what your future is going to look like. You will miss so much if you're not present with yourself, with those that love you, and most importantly, the divine infinite that has made you, to give honor and praise in that day for thanking that you have woke up and opened your eyes to see another day. And this will take the pressure off of you, and also taking pressure of those that feel like they need to end it all because outside of themselves, looking on the outside and not turning within. That's not all cases, but lots of times the stress come with the cloud of stress and depression. It looks like a cloud that's coming over a person because sometimes they're alone, or people feel like they're alone, or they are alone, and they're And you can feel like the lower energy will have you start looking on the outside and not looking from within. But the moon is saying retreat and turn inward to tend to your inner self, because that's most important, is your inner self. Okay. So join Patreon. We have a lot of information there in class, even a loaner book. So I want to get into some things that you want to have. You want to have a moon journal or a regular journal that you're charting the moon. I talked about it in the two other classes last week. You must have a moon journal or a journal. You can go to the phases of the moon each day, draw the moon in your journal, put the percentages, put the phase that is in. Okay. Also, you can look at the numerology that I post on the community board here. You can check that out. That's number 4 is the number for the day. Okay. That will give you encouragement and put it into your journal. Also number 2, new moon rituals. You can join our monthly new moon ritual that I do an altar on our private altar with the North Node. I have an altar that I do every single month that helps us come into unity as a spiritual circle, sending up our intentions together. Okay. Thank you, Ascending Infinite. Is bringing it together. Okay. That new moon altar that I do for us as a unit is for us to come in unison, trusting in the intentions that we're setting. It's not about getting your money. It's your money. You can do what you want to do with your money because it's your money. But lots of times you're not even investing your money into something that will change your life. Okay, that's just the truth. When you offerings, it never leaves your life. It goes into your future and it multiplies. So the monthly new moon altar is for you. It's not for me. It's for us to come together in unison. There's no unity today. There's a lot of jibber jabber about it. But if you on our master classes and you on Patreon, you will see that it's real conversations and prayer and different things that are truly going on. Okay. It's not a playground for me. It's very serious. So that's the new moon. The other new moon ritual, or you could also have your own ritual that you're doing on your own. I also, every full moon and new moon here on the channel, I have a ritual video, a DIY. There's no reason. If you don't know how to do one, there's one right there. And if it's not one that you want to do, why don't you do something for somebody else and do it? Some of you, because I did a love ritual, you skip it because you don't want that feel like, oh, I don't need the love in my life. So if you feel like that, why don't you do it for somebody else? It's probably somebody else that needs it. Share the energy for someone else. Some of you avoid the rituals because it's hitting some triggers. Okay, and you avoid it. You can clock out now if you want out of the chat. I'm just going to bring it real, what is being said to me. If you don't want to do it for somebody else. Sit in your quiet time, listen, see if it's a friend, a relative, your dogs, your animals, whatever. See if it's something that you need to do for somebody else. So the rituals are there. They're posted here on YouTube. They're there. They're posted on the blog. They're there. So there's no reason that you're not getting change in your life. And even when you get challenges, like some of you think because you get a season of challenge that all of a sudden your magic don't work. It's a season. It's part of life. You're going to have seasons that are challenging. It just is what it is. Everything, you're not floating on a freaking rainbow and a unicorn. It's called seasons. That's why we got 4 seasons. Some seasons are going to be like this. Some seasons is for you to prepare for the next season. If you're hearing, okay? So when you're doing work in one season, you also preparing for another season. Okay? So I'm going to clarify that. Number 3, oracle cards. Work with oracle cards or tarot deck. If you're not fluent in the work, buy some oracle cards and shuffle them during the new moon cycle so you can hear what your divine the divine infinite has to say to you or your spirit guides, angels, and ancestors. Work with oracle cards. Number four, do crystal grids. I have a crystal grid that will be up on the Patreon there. You can check that out if you join Patreon. And there's a lunar workbook that's on Patreon. It's two different tiers that will help you month with the moon cycles and much, much more. But you have to be dedicated. You have to be consistent to things. This is why we're coming here so you can be consistent. Consistency brings about change. It's not going to happen in a minute. Do something long enough so you can get the results. Don't do 55 different things. I'm going to do this. I'm going to try this. I'm going to do this. And then you never see. All you're doing is with a bunch of trinkets and never see anything because you're not consistent. Okay. So I'm going to end here on the read. We'll move into the replay. I hope this was helpful to you. I'm bringing what Spirit is saying to me. We have a new moon next week on March the 3rd. And it's in the new moon in Pisces, lining itself up with the sun in Pisces. We're in the season of miracles. Okay. Share the videos. Be realistic with yourself. Talk to yourself. Check yourself. Ask yourself, girl or guy, am I being real with me or am I walking around in a fairy tale? Am I watching all these other information, clocking out of myself because I don't want to deal with myself? Do I journal? Or do I not journal? Do I avoid my journal because I'm actually going to hear myself because I don't want to be in my reality? These are things that are very important to the next cycles that's coming in for you, your extensions of yourself, and to help others. I'll take a question or two. If you like to give to the chat, you can. If you like to give to the tip jar that's here, you can. It's up to you. I'll take two questions and then we're going to move on for the day. So that way we're in a timely fashion. It's 9:44. Any questions? That's right, Morgan. I hear you. Good morning. That's right. Good morning, everybody. I see your messages. Okay. So in the beginning of the chat, I wrote some questions here and I wrote down here, what do you like to do at new moon time? These are some things you want to ask yourself. Or do you have a routine with the new moon? Have you ever joined our altar vigil during the new moon? And do you have a journal? Those are things that you want to ask yourself. Okay. Good morning, everybody. These are things that you want to ask yourself. Okay. I see a lot of good mornings to everybody. So I see a lot of good morning. Have any questions? I'll wait 5 more seconds. And if we don't have any questions, we're going to close out. It's 33 minutes in, it's 9:45. I do want to keep in step with the time for yourself and myself. Any questions? I'm scrolling to see. I know sometimes in the chat it takes a minute. Good morning, everybody. So, okay, well, I don't see any questions or comments in reference to what was being shared. I'll wait a few more minutes, see if I see anything else. Okay, I see some comments. When you feel triggered, that you should do it. Be true to yourself. Retreats are an important part of practice, fundamentals. Um, let's see here, making time for yourself. Um, let's see what else I see. I think that's all I see in the comments here. All right, well, I'm going to close here. I hope that you're able to take this information and utilize it. Make sure that you our joined our Patreon. You can click the About page here on YouTube and click the Patreon, and you can join us there. Sharing the YouTube channel as well. You can also, I have the link here about our website at https://eclipticspiritualist7.com. You can join the email list here. We do not spam anyone. There's a lot of great information that comes through for you. You can stay up to date with us. You can join us as well on our master classes on Saturdays. Um, they're there. We have our master class. They are a paid class, but they are beautiful. We start at about 9:15 or 8:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, along with so much more that is available for you. Okay? I love you for watching today. Have a wonderful time with learning about the phase of the new moon. This will be on playback. I love you for watching. Continue to dive deep and trust in yourself first always. We offer private live psychic readings that will change your life, along with spell work, private counseling, diagnostic consultations, spell work, healing consultations, so much more. Check us out. I love you very much. This is Ranita, the Ecliptic Spiritualist, and I will see you later. Bye bye.